It's Saturday night, and you are watching another episode of the Delco Duo. I'm one half of the Delco Duo, Monica Cryan.
And I'm Jenna Meisner. Thanks so much for joining us on this Saturday night. Hopefully your weekend has been going well, and we're winding down on the summer weekends. So hopefully you're enjoying it.
I can't believe it. So we had a bit of a hiatus. Jenna had a vacation, well-deserved.
I did have a vacation.
How did it go?
It went like any vacation does with a 1-year-old and your in-laws, you know?
That was the cutest.
It was great. No,
cutest thing I've ever heard out of here.
It was great. But any parent knows that vacations with kids is not much of a vacation. So it's just you're doing something in a different location. But we had a great time. We enjoyed some nice weather. And it's always good to not wake up in the middle of the night when we're talking about work. Like that's a vacation and enough when you can kind of sleep in.
Yeah.
Till 6 a.m. when your son then wakes up.
Yeah, you get like a little bit more sleep.
Yeah.
But have you seen like those Instagrams? And it's like when you go on vacation just to go get yelled at and screamed at location. Like a tropical location. Yeah.
It's the truth. But yeah, it was great. So thanks for asking. So if you tuned in last Saturday, you're probably like, wait, I saw this episode already. We do have to rerun every once in a while. I know some people get upset about that, but you know, we're working like dogs. And then I feel like the fall, we don't have any time off. No. So then it's just like bam, 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 You're going to be getting so much fresh content. You're going to be sick of us.
Fresh to death.
And maybe some merch. We're in the works. So we have something to show you. Let's get to the debrief.
We're working on it.
We hear your opinions. We value your opinions.
We really do, because the second we put out there that people had been looking for merch and we were trying to come up with ways to get it out there, people responded. Thank you guys so much for all of your responses. People coming up with ideas of how to get
doing
this.
Most of the work for us.
Yes. And we love it and we appreciate it. We're going to figure this out. But here is Pat and his idea for what he thinks.
Pat's actually a woman.
She is.
Her and her husband love to watch the show. So here we go.
Love you, Pat.
The Delco Duo caricature. Am I saying that correct? I hate this.
We're so bad at
caricature.
This is a caricature that Pat drew of the Delco Duo. It's amazing.
I love it. We had to show it. I think that it encompasses everything. I feel like I often am talking to you like this, and you're often sharing an opinion. That's gone for 20 minutes.
I said that she captured us, the essence of us. This is me constantly, I believe. And you are, no way, Jose.
You're supposed to exaggerate the features, and I think it was actually kind. There wasn't any features that were exaggerated, but we loved it. So to answer, the email had said, like, not sure if you like it. I can add some color into it.
Sweet.
So sweet. We absolutely loved it, and we wanted to show everybody else who watches the Delco Duo what they thought of it. So
you are so
talented.
good.
The website, I have the website. Achilles portfolio.wordpress.com. I think I'm saying the last name right. If we're saying any of your details about you that are incorrect, please write us back and we'll make sure to fix it.
Achilles portfolio.wordpress.com. So talented. We love that caricature.
Love it.
But yeah, so we got to work with our creative team, and maybe we can get things rolling.
So high profile when you say that.
We're not
the Kardashians. We've got to work with our creative team to put this together.
No, PHL 17 has a creative team, and we are knocking on their door, and we bother them, and they're like, "Please shut up. We have so many other things on our plate. You guys are the last of our worries." And we're just like, "Hey guys, Pat made a caricature. Can you slap this on some mugs by Christmas?"
By Christmas. That's the important part, because who does not want to unwrap a gift of the Delco Duo under the Christmas tree?
I think so.
Love it. All right, let's get to what we come to do every Saturday night, and that's to solve your issues. That's why we really got into this whole thing, to make sure that we can help you out.
All right, Ryan from Ridley writes, my wife has gotten into the world of fridgescaping. I find it very annoying. I don't need flowers in my fridge. It's also made a whole ordeal just to get an item out of the fridge. I read this and I was like,
fridgescaping?
Exactly.
What? I don't know what that is.
So I was like, I need I need to know more. What is Fridgescaping? What are you talking about? Why are there flowers in your fridge, Ryan? Why are there flowers in your fridge?
The only thing I can think of is having an aesthetic for your fridge. You like it to look nice, like decor almost, like when you open the fridge doors. Am I right?
So let's take a look. I think we got an example. This is trending, I believe, on TikTok. So it's like, right. So you can kind of see like you put like flowers
this is
in.
ridiculous. Okay.
Pictures.
I've seen enough.
Pictures.
This is a joke.
Look at this. And like everything has a place, and like you by color, you organize by color, you organize by shape, you organize.
You had me at that. The picture frames is what sent me over the edge.
Wild. The flowers.
I can barely find places in my house that I want to put a picture frame. The fridge.
I'm actually surprised you're not more on board for this, because you love aesthetic.
I am on board for this. My fridge is very much, I take everything out of the packaging. So like when I get fruit and I don't know, things that come in like the packaging.
Yes.
I take all of that out, and my fridge is very orderly.
Re-put it in a different packaging.
Yes. Like a bin or like a clear container. So
like
I am all
what's
for
the Container Store or like
in King of Prussia. That place is what dreams are made of. The Container Store, and it's just it's an emotional experience for me.
You know what dreams are made of? Giant. You go to Giant, and whatever packaging that store comes in, you just put it right in your fridge.
This actually started for me taking things out of the packaging during COVID because it was such a big like, oh, who's touched this? Who's touched that? So I sort of was trying to get the groceries the least touched part of them, if that makes sense. So like say you get a sleeve of peppers rather than just putting them in a plastic bag, you get like the prepackaged ones. I would want to take the peppers out because I didn't know who was touching them and whatnot. So that's when it started. But then we got the new fridge. Remember, we had that on the Delco Duo where my fridge kept getting delivered, damaged finally. And since we had such a new, nice fridge, I really wanted it to look organized and pretty.
I get that, but I think the problem is people then, once they get it to the aesthetic that they like, you know, I can see, then they become obsessed. You take out one item to use and it throws the whole thing off, right?
You're my husband and the milk goes in the wrong way and the yogurt was moved. He doesn't care about my fridge aesthetic at all.
You shouldn't have to live in a house like that.
Well, I don't put pressure on him. I just fix it. So I don't say to him, you know, you messed up the Fridgescape. I just fix it for myself. I do think it's a bit of my OCD.
Okay, but you're not putting pictures, you're not putting flowers.
No. That's weird. If I come to your house and I'm a guest, I guess the guest doesn't really open the fridge.
No.
But if I'm at your house, I'd open the fridge. And if you had a picture frame in there, I would be like,
that's so creepy.
Monica, this is really weird.
Like I'm shocked. I'm like, what?
I would be like, are you embarrassed of whatever photo that it doesn't get a place in your house? It just is in your fridge.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Are frames meant to be in the fridge? How does the quality hold up?
I'm sure the quality holds up great. I think then what you do is then you become obsessed, and the person who is in charge of the aesthetic then gets crazy OCD about you even using any of those products. Like, no, don't use that because you're going to throw the whole aesthetic off. And it's like, well, then what's the point? You know
Have
what
a
I mean?
clean, neat fridge. You don't need photos or flowers in it.
Absolutely.
All right, coming up next, we got another issue about the age to start shaving your legs. I don't know how else to say it.
That's the whole ordeal.
All right, welcome back to the Delco Duo, Saturday night, 11:30s. Now, of course, we're going to solve your issues, but we have to talk about my pants because
They look good.
They look good.
They're new.
They've got this cute little fringe on the bottom. They are new, but they are repurposed from.
You are recycling.
There we go. Here's the shot. Here's our shoes that we don't normally show. Monica's wearing Crocs.
Okay. Proud of these guys. Love them.
I'm wearing these. You never see our feet, so we just wear. Anywho, back to the pants. These were gifted to me by Kelsey Fabian. If you watch PHL 17 Morning News, you're very familiar with Kelsey. She filled in for me, the Delco Duo, when I was on maternity leave.
She's also one of our besties.
Yeah, one of our besties. And she gave me these. And Monica seems to have some sort of beef with the fact that I got Kelsey's jeans.
You know how hard it is to
they're really good brand too.
Yeah,
like
made
they're
well.
nice. They're a
Made
nice
well.
brand.
And you know, Jenna just always gets gifted clothes because she's like this big. And so whenever anybody's like, you know, kind of just going through their clothes, they always are just like, hey, Jenna, I've got this that just isn't fitting me the way I want it to. You try it. And Jenna's always just like, oh, this fits great. And I'm just like, Urgh.
It's not my fault.
I can't tell you how many times people have
a lot of my
her
dresses
clothes.
for the morning news that I have like a handful of dresses that I'll wear that
Yes.
People were so kind enough to be like I don't want to wear them anymore.
You just have so many clothes that people have gifted you, and it's crazy. They look so good on you.
As the baby of a family, third child, I had so many hand-me-downs growing up.
Yeah,
like,
you probably did.
I just wore everything that my sisters had grown out of.
Did you like that, or did you get annoyed?
I didn't care. And even to this day, like clothes for me, I love to shop. I love to get new clothes, but I'm not like I have friends that are so into what's the latest, what's the greatest, I need this is fashion, this is not. I've never been like that. Like I have one friend who plans her outfits out months in advance for like we have a wedding next weekend, all of my group of friends.
Yeah.
She's known what she's been wearing for probably 6 months. I just texted the group and was like, hey, does anybody have a dress that they want to give me that I can wear? Like, I just don't care.
And let me tell you.
I don't care. I don't.
Someone will have a dress for you, and it'll fit great, and it'll look awesome, and you won't have any issues. You are like the constant sisterhood of the traveling pants. Yeah. Everything, the travel's down to Jenna, and it looks great. But
please travel.
That's great for you. Yeah, those pants look great. Okay.
She is hating.
I'm not hating.
Can you see? Are you okay?
I'm not hating. I'm fine.
Okay, let's get to our second issue. All of a sudden, you looked like you had eyesight problems. Are you able to read? All right. Colleen from Collingdale. And this says, shout out to my Irish Catholic Prendy Delco girlfriend. So someone who had wrote into us wanted us to use Colleen from Collingdale. That's obviously not her real name. But people, you guys all love our alliterations. And I think her name, the girlfriend's name really is Colleen. And she really is an Irish Catholic Prendy Delco girl. But she's not from Collingdale.
Okay, got it.
So shout out to Colleen.
Yeah, I'm sure we're not exposing anyone. I'm sure there's a lot of Colleens from Prendy.
Irish Catholic in Delco. Just walk 5 feet down the street. You'll meet a new one every 5 feet.
All right. My 9-year-old daughter has thicker hair under her arms and on her legs. She told me she wants to start shaving because her friends are noticing. I think she's too young. Should I let her shave? And, I'm really bad with like age and identifying like what grade is that.
So my niece is about to be 9 this month.
Oh, okay.
And she's going into, we said her name all the time. She's going into 3rd grade.
So she's 9 and she's going into 3rd? Yeah.
Yeah, I can see. And that to me, like putting that into perspective that she's going to be 9, like I'm like, yeah, that's too young. Like I can't imagine my niece shaving her legs like that. That to me, when I think about it that way, seems kind of young.
It does. It does seem young.
But I'm waiting
Avery,
for the but.
Right. But Avery might not have as thick of hair. This is clearly something that for this girl is making her...
Or she's been picked on about it.
She might not even be picked on, but it's making her self-conscious. I think if it's something that she wants to do and she's going to be responsible about it, like...
How is someone responsible? Like, what do you mean responsible about it?
I need you to. There's upkeep.
Oh, yes.
There's upkeep. You got to, you got to make sure you're doing it often. You're not going to let it,
Yep. I'm trying to think. I can't even think back to the age that I was concerned about.
So I was going to ask you.
I'm trying to think. I think I must have been. Well, so since I'm blonde, like my legs have always been.
Sure, you weren't worried.
It all depends, I think, on your hair color and whatnot. I think I might have been 7th grade. 6th or 7th,
okay.
7th grade.
I thought you were going to be like, I didn't worry about it until I was in 12th grade.
No. What about you?
I think I was like 6th or 7th grade.
Yeah, I think that's kind of, and that's when they start to have those conversations with you at school about body odor and about, that's when they start to introduce the ideas of like,
one of the reasons I had to start is I was playing soccer and the shin guards, it was getting so sweaty and smelly.
Okay. I don't need to think about that.
I was like, Dad, I think I have to start. He's like, yes, kid. Yes.
All right.
But I would say, just to go over, if it's something...
You're done. You're done. We'll
if it's
come
something
back.
that's making her self-conscious and she has come to you in a responsible way.
Oh my gosh. We'll be back.
Welcome back. Oh, also, one of the other things.
And that's why the caricature looks like it looks. Guys, you are doing that
one more thing.
all the time.
What I also meant by responsibility is that we only are using the razor for legs, underarm. We're not using it for like eyebrows. Nothing on the face.
Thank God you clarified that.
Well, you
Thank
got to
God.
say, like, you are only using it for those areas. Nothing here.
The arms, stomach.
Yes.
I at one point
Sideburns.
Yeah.
Sideburns.
My
Girls,
mom actually shaved her eyebrows off when
that's
she was
what
a
I'm saying.
kid.
All of a sudden, the girls get the razor, and they're like, you know what? I
there's
don't
hair
like
here.
any hair.
Yeah.
I'm going to start shaving here.
No, it'll come back thicker. Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Don't do that.
Don't
My
do it.
sister shaved her stomach one time. Big regret. Big regret.
Why?
She had to get that taken care of.
Why?
Big regret.
Why do girls
Because
do
there's
what we
a little-
do?
there's a
Yeah,
little, you
no,
know.
I know. Why do we do what we do?
Because we do what we do.
We do what we do because we're crazy. All right.
Now,
What's Monica crying about?
Other than being
this show is so important
so important
about the things that you need to just think about for your children.
for your children, especially girls,
Yes.
and the issues that they will come across. All right.
Hairy stomach. Okay, go ahead.
Stop it. Your
She's
sister's
fine
gonna
now.
kill ya.
She's not watching.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead.
We say that. All right. So my issue for this week is I put it as no good deed goes unpunished. You remember in
deed goes
Wicked?
unpunished.
Did you watch the play Wicked?
So yes, I went to New York to actually see it on Broadway. I think I've told you this story before. I don't know if I've ever said it on.
You were sick or something?
I was sick and I had a fever and my parents were like, we're going. Like, we've got these tickets. I slept through the entire thing of Wicked on Broadway in New York City. That was a big regret of my life. But
So one of the songs is "No Good Deed Goes Unpunished."
I do know the soundtrack.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I never understood that. Like when I was young, I just, no good deed goes unpunished. What does that mean? And as I've gotten older, I've noticed like there are times when you've done things and you're like, I'm doing good. And then all of a sudden you're like, man, why did I do that? Like no good deed goes unpunished. So recently I surprised my husband with tickets and we're going up to Penn State. And I surprised him. I got an Airbnb. I got tickets to Penn State. He is pumped. And I'm like, I'm so excited.
And it's a big game.
No.
Oh, it's not?
It is not a big
Oh.
And here's
But
why.
even though it wasn't a big game, you still had to get that Airbnb like so far in advance. Like you got like the outskirts of what
We're not
the area.
even. We are
Yeah.
20 minutes away from Penn
crazy.
State, and
It's
we
crazy.
still are so excited because Penn State is nuts.
They're not- yeah.
It's nuts out. So we are 20 minutes away, but we were talking. We're getting so excited because Friday, we're getting up there as early as we can, and we're going to take the kids around. We're so excited to show them Penn State. They've never been, and then
Where your love story began.
yes,
Are you gonna
this
bring
is
him
our
to the
love
frat?
story. I think we're going to bring him to the frat.
Where you're, because
Yep.
I mean,
I'm
that's
not,
only
we're not going to let them
appropriate.
inside because we don't want them to catch any diseases. We need their immunity to build up before
That's
we
a
let
great
them.
place to go build it.
No. Their immunity
You don't
is
want
not
their feet
built.
to stick to the
No.
floor with beer
No,
and the smell.
not yet.
Oh, I could still smell frat houses.
frat house,
I can
no.
still get that smell and. Ugh.
They need to build their immunity a bit more before we let them in Fratland. So then we're gonna go. We have this whole day planned out, and then we're gonna go to the game, and we're so excited. So then I had also volunteered at Josephine's school to do some yard duty.
And I think a good way to describe that more is basically you're supervising recess.
Yes.
Like when you say yard duty, it sounds like you're raking, mowing the lawn. You're not doing any of the yard work.
Yes,
Yard.
and I just put my name out there. I said, I can help out.
You just basically watch the kids
kids.
play, make sure everyone's okay.
Right. Well, lo and behold,
What?
The day I get assigned.
I'm picturing you doing yard duty in my head.
Yes,
And it's making me laugh.
it's not going to go well.
You're going to be like, I don't care what you do. You could roll down that hill.
Roll down the hill. I don't say that. The parents are going to be like, I hope you're not watching my kid. Lo and behold, the day I get assigned yard duty is the day that we're supposed to leave for Penn State. And so I called Eugene. I said, listen, I got assigned yard duty for the day we're supposed to leave for Penn State. And he's like, we were going to leave at the crack of dawn, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Are you off of work that day?
No, but we were going to leave
after okay.
work.
I was going to say, so you can't leave before 9.
Right, but we were going to leave like right after the show, and we were going to get to Penn State as early as we could. And I'm like, now we can't leave until after yard duty.
Yep. Yeah.
And he's so mad at me. He's like, I can't believe you would sign up for yard duty.
Well, you have to.
Right.
It's a required.
And I thought I was being nice. I'm signing up for yard duty. I'm getting you Penn State tickets. Like, no good deed goes unpunished.
I can understand the frustration because it is such a far drive that like it's one of those things where you just want to get up and do it.
But like, here I am.
But you have to. You got to do yard duty.
Yeah.
You can't change.
And so I'm like, you know what, hun? We're just going to have to miss out on like the full day. We only get a half day at Penn State. It's fine. It's fine. But here I am. I'm just like, can I
You'll
do
be there
no
many
right?
more times. You will be bringing the kids many times. I understand it's the first, so it's special.
But do you see how I feel? Like these two things that I feel like I'm doing good have now made it a wrong. A wrong.
We'll wait for updates there. We've got trivia coming up. So this was a fun one. Where in Delco did the large pirate at Playlands, Castaway Cove, and Ocean City once greet visitors?
All right, we'll read it slow because it's a lot of words. Where in Delco did the large pirate at Playlands, Castaway Cove in Ocean City once greet visitors?
And we're going to show you a picture of that so it kind of jogs your memory. But the answer, Playtown Park on Baltimore Pike in Springfield. So someone wrote in to actually ask if we could talk about Playtown Park. So here's first, this is from Castaway Cove from their Facebook. So yeah, that's right by the mini golf. I'm sure it's recognizable if you've been on the Ocean City Boardwalk.
Yes. I recognize it. Yeah, I look at that. I'm like, oh my gosh, Castaway Cove.
So that actually came from Playtown Park, which was a full-scale, like, kiddie amusement park. There's a Kohl's there now. Mm-hmm. But if you've researched this place, I was just, like, enthralled by everything that I was finding out. It is so interesting.
Sounds fun.
So
Sounds like a blast.
In the early 1950s, and people used to get, like, dressed up, like, dressed to the nines and bring their kids there. And it was, like, a 1950s. I mean, picture the time. Like, that was, like, a really hot spot to be. Loud music.
Those were the days.
And then it closed in 1969, and the rides were dismantled in 1970. So it had a shorter stint, 20 years?
Almost 20 years.
Almost
and then
20
they sent
years.
the pirate to Castaway Cove.
I guess so, yeah.
And it lives on there.
Which is, now every time I see that, I had no idea.
That's so cool.
That was first in Delco in Springfield. But
I'm going to see it this weekend.
Like the history of the amusement park, they had a big lawsuit because this woman fell off of the carousel, because you know how the carousel like rings now before it gets going? She fell off because that didn't exist then. So it went to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. I mean, I was invested in the research of Playtown Park. So there's old videos and everything on YouTube to check out because it's really...
Thanks for sending us info about the Playtown.
I love it. I love it. All right.
Send us more. Delco Duo at PHL17.com. We love reading all your stuff.
We do. Have a great rest of your weekend.